Alright, what up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Let's get into it. Okay, this is just a reading, a random reading. I don't know who it's for, what's it about. Automatically, I'm tuning into distractions. Okay, distractions trying to distract you from getting justice or the truth. I'm hearing pulling the wool over the sheep's eyes. Okay. We got blacksmith, forge, melting, sharpening, tempering, butcher at the bottom. There's somebody interacting with the energy. Okay? They be doing this ruthlessly, cruel, like manner, slaughtering, like manner. There's someone here who is interacting with the environment. What does this have to do with anything? Betrayal, deceit, dishonesty, conspiracy, and broken bond. Okay. There's somebody interacting with the energy in a disloyal way. There could be conspiracy theories about this. I heard conspiracy theories are just spoiler alerts. Okay? So there could have been a lot of theories about somebody tampering with somebody, with something or someone. There's a lot of deceit around it. Okay? What is this going to conclude? What's going to happen? Traveler, seeker of horizons, adventure, explorer in long journeys, diviner. So, someone here is doing something, but there's a whole lot of deceit around it. And it's going to cause someone to step up as a seeker. Because there is deceit, there's going to activate a seeker, someone who will seek out the truth, seer of the unseen, foresight, insight, cosmic connection. Okay, so what they're giving me is because people are messing with the energy and then it's being covered up by deceit, it triggers the need for divine people who have the power, the insight, the guidance to step up into a role. So there are roles being created by deceit, misfortune, and negative energy. So all negative things is what activates the need for a positive thing. Okay? So in this world, there are negative forces that need to be offset by positive forces. And I'm tapping into the people who are being activated because of a negative thing. Okay? How darkness is being used to create light. Because without darkness, the existence of light wouldn't happen. And it's this type of full circle energy going on. So there's going to be something that happens. It's forged. It was created. It was manipulated. It was done through physical action. And then there's going to be deceit around it, illusions. And this is going to pull out of you a movement. Okay? Because you have the insight that there's something going on that's being covered up, it activates something inside of you. So you're having your spiritual gifts be activated. I'm seeing like Sherlock Holmes. I'm seeing you know how they say how a villain story was created? I'm seeing how a hero story was created. Okay, I'm seeing how spiritualist story was activated. Some of you went through something that was manipulated, done. Whatever was done to you was ultimately a key component of forging your activation. But it had to be triggered by deceit, loyalty, a conspiracy, or a broken bond. And whatever had happened to you, whatever betrayal happened to you, was the right thing that made you lock into yourself and the tools that you have. So something happened that made you feel like you need more than the physical five senses to understand something, because it's shrouded in deceit, it's shrouded in conspiracy. You need something more than what you physically have on your person to figure out something. So you need more knowledge, you need more wisdom, you need more authority, you need a cosmic connection or guide or insight to tap you in. There's something that happened in which you needed more than what you have to figure it out. This is the key components of creating a hero, creating and activating a spiritual being and your spiritual gifts, because we're all spiritual beings out here in our meat bodies. But there are certain people, there are certain groups of us that go beyond what we know, what we've been taught, that challenge belief of our limitations. And because of that, you become a hero. You do the impossible, right? And I feel like there's a lot of you who are just going through a betrayal, disloyalty. You just had something happen. And it doesn't even have to be deep, okay? It doesn't even have to be painful. You can simply woke up to the fact that you were in a man-made conspiracy and a man-made illusion, and this made you want to get out of it. You no longer cater to those things. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. Okay, because I do not want to dilute the message. Okay, so they said a calling, traveling. So you're traveling towards a calling here. It's caused you to get up and move in some type of way. Get up and take some type of action. What's blacksmith energy? We have control and discipline. There are people trying to manipulate you. Okay? There's a blacksmith creating things to lure you in, to tempt you, to attract you, to control you. Alright? And it's directly interfering with your discipline. So this could be as simple as somebody knowing that you went on a diet, so they go out and buy your favorite food. This type of energy, okay? Somebody knowing that humans are more susceptible if under a blue light for a certain amount of hours. So they stick you under a blue light to make you more susceptible, then testing your discipline under the susceptibility and what they have caused you, okay? This is this type of energy. Somebody is forging things to test your discipline or play against what you want, causing you to have discipline. Like, this is tantalizing offers, right? This is something that you can't pass up, all right? This is that type of energy. Somebody putting out a trap that would make even the most disciplined fall. Right? But this is just a conspiracy theory. Nobody's going to straight up tell you that we're in a case study, right? And they put out the new let's call it a P phone. They put out the new P phone, right? And it has a bunch of alluring attractions just to get you to buy that. So whatever they have put into that phone will affect you in some type of way. Okay, this is like giving out free samples so you're more susceptible to eat it. Now you have digested whatever they needed you to be susceptible to. It's this type of energy. Okay, they know you're hungry because you're at a grocery store looking for food, so they put out a free sample. Now everybody vaccinated. Now everybody who ingested this is more susceptible to whatever was in that food. There's something weird going on right here, and it's all a conspiracy theory, right? I'm also picking up on distractions, distracting you from creating businesses, distracting you from becoming a solvent citizen, distracting you from the reality of things, so that you let time go by. It's like the world is creating more distractions to fill your time so that you don't travel towards your spiritual path, so that you don't figure out who you are, so that you don't study, find esoteric knowledge, learn wisdom, travel around and gain insight on different cultures, different things that would tell you about who you are. Instead, you're distracted by an iPad. Instead, you binge watch a series that was strategically placed in your vision to trap you up. Okay? It's this type of energy. It's all just a conspiracy theory, right? Chair to make you wait. I'm telling you, to make you sit down and take no action. Stop playing with me. There are things that are being divinely devised, okay, in order to show you this energy, to identify things that are just time traps, time warps. I was watching this one anime. It was called Pathogen, or something like that. Something with a P, okay? And something with a P is very significant. I don't know what that is. But in the series, they uploaded people into the computer, and you only had like a certain, confirmation again. You only had a certain amount of processing RAM. You only had a certain amount of energy to waste, okay? And they were putting people online in order to waste their life force and doing a job for somebody else. And then these things broke free from doing that job and realized that they were giving their life force to making somebody else money. It's this type of energy. Things that make you sit down and feed the illusion instead of getting up, breaking free from the illusion, and traveling upon your spiritual path, your spiritual calling, where things are infinite, where you're an individual architect of your reality. Okay? But there are people who are trained to treat the symptoms instead of the root cause. So they'll tell you, that's everybody's life. We all have to give our life force away to make money, to slave and not enjoy our lives. That's what we have. That's all we know. And this is what's controlling you, stopping you from the divine connection that we all have inside of us. We all have a character to play. You have to find the character that aligns with your spiritual path in order to escape the matrix. This is the energy. Okay, the matrix is here to distract you from finding out who or what you're supposed to be, irregardless of your circumstances. And if they can change your individuality and make you a robot in the system to make money, you'll never look for individuality. You'll be too caught up serving something else. Okay, so a lot of us are waking up to the fact that we can do both simultaneously. We can do the bare minimum it takes to survive while trying to search for our individuality. And once we find our individuality, you grind away in your individuality until you're working for yourself. I'm talking to those people who have taken control of your reality by waking up to the fact that this is all a distraction from finding your individual character that you're supposed to play. Is who I'm talking to. You thus gained control of your reality. You may have not freed yourself from this system of distraction, but now you have awoken to it. This is the first step. Second step is to free yourself, finding knowledge, seeking and traveling, and finding your individuality, okay? What do I actually like? Okay? What do I actually hold to be important to me? This happened to me recently, in which I had to find a job and I didn't want to do the job, but I did a job that I do naturally. Okay? So I like to, without saying too much, you feel me? I like to be in work environments where it fulfills me emotionally. Okay? And I went after a job in which I could do things that would fulfill me emotionally on the surface base level. Like, for real, I looked at my life and I looked at the things that I was doing and what brought me joy. And all the things that I was doing was equally taxing, but the things that brought me joy was the things I honed in on. And I was like, okay, I'm more willing to do this job because I know it will bring me a certain amount of joy. And when I started to do this job, it brought me even more joy than I expected because I was in alignment with my core feelings, my individuality in my everyday life. Yes, I was stuck in the matrix having to do something like get a job. When life is free, don't get me started. Yes, I had to hop in and get a job, okay, when life is free. But I told myself, even though I have to be a part of the system, the man-made conspiracy system to distract us from our spiritual calling, although I have to participate in it, I'm awake, I know. So this is only temporary. This is only to make enough money to find my personal individuality and then grind in it. And then when I started to do it, I learned more about myself. And the more I learned about myself, the more I could show up like myself. And then I started to go after things that I really wanted that didn't make me any money. Okay? The things that I really like doing, okay, which I'm going to keep to myself because why do you care? I'm just a torso and a voice to you. You feel me? But the things that I like doing, I created an avenue to do it. And I need to get back to it. Okay, this also is a reading to show me how life can take me off of the things that I've already started. So although I'm ministering to you right now, I'm ministering to myself as well and telling myself that I need to get back on the individual path that I have created for myself and continue to grind in that area. But the point of this all was that when I started to do, okay, the things that brought me joy, things brought me more joy than I expected, causing me to do more things that I liked. And one of the things that I liked, I started doing, but I had to do it for free, so I can't do it a lot. This is why it's easy to get distracted from doing it because it doesn't bring me money. All right. But the thing that I started to do that I liked doing that brought me no money was just a side hustle. It was just a side character. But I started talking about it. And when I started talking about it, people then started to ask me to do the thing that was just a side hustle, thus making it my reality. Now, y'all are not hearing me. You are not staying with me. Okay? I created a side hustle, a thing that I wanted to be, an aspect of my characteristic. I started to play it out in reality. And at first, it was just me talking to myself. And then I told people about it. And then they asked me to do the thing that I was just doing for myself, thus creating it in reality. Now it's a part of my individuality. Now it's a part of my real energy. It's no longer a side hustle. I actually did that. I actually do that. This is what this is. And it could be as simple as playing the guitar. Okay? You can start a how to learn guitar channel and you're just sitting there talking to yourself, and then you tell people, yeah, I created a channel and teach people how to play the guitar, and then they start asking you to teach them how to play the guitar. Now you are an actual guitar teacher when previously it was just a little hobby. This is how it is easy for uh, something that you like doing to become a new mode of existence. You get enough experience points teaching people, then you can charge for it. Then you can charge for it. Then you can make people pay you to do something that was just a hobby. Now it is real life. Now you are no longer in the cycle of working for somebody else and making somebody else money, but you have created an individual, unique reality of paying yourself to do something that you like doing. This is the basis of this reading. There's something that happened. Okay, there's something that happened that entrapped you to giving all your discipline, your grace, all your focus into grinding away in Minecraft. Okay, grinding away in Minecraft in something that will never be more than a tangible couple bucks. Mm-hmm. And you betrayed yourself. You fell into deceit, into a conspiracy of sitting down and not pursuing the things that brought you happiness. But then you woke up. You woke up. You found yourself inside of the matrix, and you realized, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. Corruption has moved in view of my eyesight. And now you can see that you have corrupted the essence of life. It is which to express yourself in the best way possible in the time that we have and create the best life that we have. But some of us has settled. Okay, settled. But this settling has also woke you up to what you're settling to. So you can no longer settle. You are forced to travel. You're forced to travel. Thank you for the money. You're forced to travel into your spiritual calling because you no longer want to live in the reality that you have. So it forces you to imagine a reality and make it a hobby. And then that hobby becomes real when you do it, even if you do it for free. Because when you gain enough experience, it then becomes something that can be patronized. Thus, creating the reality, we're going back in which you were being paid to do something that was in your spiritual alignment, taking control of the matrix and causing for more fun in your reality. Hold on. All right. Taking control of this reality. I'm still in flow state right now. Okay, this. I know this is a part of my spiritual calling, um, to be able to be a public speaker in some type of way. But I could do this without the cards. So my the underlying spiritual factor of my ability to be in flow state has to do with my ability to connect to infinite source inside of me, okay? An infinite source inside of me that gives me wisdom, all right, that I pick up on, okay? And I call it flow state. And when I connect to flow state, it's like automatic talking, and it's a part of my spiritual path to figure out how to gain higher insight, more than just divination. Okay, divination. This is low level card tricks. Okay, um, I'm more talking to the higher parts of divination, in which you have the connection to source without the middle energy. All right, and whatever that is, I have not connected to it, but sometimes I get into automatic talking and automatic connection when I talk about my other things that I like to do. So I just told you this because There are things that come to you automatically. There are things that you can connect to, you're just good at. Natural talents, natural abilities. And you have to look deeper into your natural abilities to identify the spiritual gifts or the spiritual power that is in that and figure out the ultimate version of that. You feel me? Anyways, hopping right back into flow state, you're gaining control of reality. You're gaining control of reality. So whatever has happened, okay, so you have been awoken to the matrix. And this has caused you to seek different avenues than what everybody else has. The path less traveled. Okay, the path less traveled because it's your individual path. There's something about uniqueness. Okay, your path is never going to be like anybody else's. Okay, you have a unique fingerprint, a unique form, which is also weird because recently I was talking about how God is living out like little pieces of existence in our unique lives. Like all of us on a large scale are just portions of energy living out unique moments, unique energy, unique memories, unique visions, stuff that is unique to every single person because of the simple way of how we view reality, how we interpretate things, how we internalize things. So there's something about God being able to be all things, be encompassing of all things by allowing us to have energy and living in this reality and see what we do with this energy. And there's some of us that do greater things with our energy than other people. Okay, the individual path. So you're finding your individual path here. We have online activity, social networking, expanding your social circles, and online business. Crown at the top. Okay, so you have to seek out like-mindeds, or you're expanding and traveling and getting experience. Oh, oh. What they have just shown me is to study people. Okay, the study of people. That's learning thyself. All right, so there's something about Virgo's ability to look at people. I don't know why I just said Virgo. This is a collective reading. There's the ability to be able to look at a situation with discernment. So other people's lives. And I feel like you're in a certain part of your life where you have gained wisdom and experience from other people, social circles, shared knowledge. But now it's time to find your own. The seeker of your own networks, of your own social circles, of your own business, of your own activity. This is what will gain the success, victory, and power. You have power and authority of your own timeline. This comes with the finances, like I said earlier. And look, seeing the soul. This is specific to your soul, to who you are, what you like to do, what you like to indulge in, man or woman, divine feminine or divine masculine. Divine feminine again. There's something here about just sitting with yourself and going towards things that make you happy and then expanding upon that. It's just that simple. I just keep getting it over and over again. That's the basic. I'm hearing how to break free from the matrix, dummy 101 book. That's the basics instruction. To seek out things that bring you joy and expand upon that. It's just what I'm getting. Seeker of love. What brings you the highest vibration. right, tell me about travelers. We get it, right? I feel like we don't have to talk about this bullshit here. There are people who are creating traps, okay? And then people get their ego and their human characteristics make them disciplined and focused in being the best in this trap, being the best in the world, being the most famous, being the most prettiest, being the best one at the job, having the best family, having the blah, blah, blah. There's traps out here that trap us into putting all our discipline and focus in achievements and achieving worldly things. This is a betrayal to your spiritual path. Okay, we all understand that you betray your spiritual path when you get caught up in the world. Correct? Correct. So we're starting to travel outside of the world, expanding on our own unique selves. This is where I want to tune into. The specific you, Knight of Cups. Following your emotions. Dropping the burden. 8 of coins, 6 of coins. Yeah, it's like dropping the burden, following your emotions, and letting something go that wasn't working for you leads you to something else that will work for you better. It's just that simple. Okay? So this could literally be work, heavy on the finances here. Okay? Emotions and finances. And what I'm seeing is some of you have been burdened and held back by things that were betraying your spiritual path. When you could expand on things that you like to do and that you're good at and your talents, that will get you more money, more gifts. Doesn't even have to be money. Just be working with the gifts God gave you. 2 of Cups. And then meeting mutual people here. 9 of Wands. Here the Sun card. The 3 of Cups and the 5 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles, mutual energy. There's a lot of people who want to do this as well. Sun card, 3 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, and then you show them the way. 3 of Pentacles. It's this type of energy, like I said. Okay? Using your talents and your gifts to find mutual people who will be inspired by what you do and bring virtue and success to it. And then you show these people how to do what you did. So there's like a need to be filled. There's something about the need of you. Oh my God, we're going back to the beginning of this. Okay? The need for your individual character. Because you have an individual path in which people need you in order to be successful. You are what they are lacking. But you are what they are lacking in your authentic form. Okay? So there's something here about you living in your gifts that have to do with people who are entwined with your destiny. All right? Because you take an inspired action on what you know to be true, what brings you happiness, is just what something was lacking. Okay? But if you do not, if you leave something out in the cold, if you leave your spiritual path out in the cold, you'll never work with something. You'll never work with this path. The World card. the King of Pentacles. It's like, this is, I'm reading this intuitively, and this is giving me the energy of your together, whatever is lacked is completed. Traveler. So there's something about you being in your spiritual alignment around people in a certain path, in a certain area, in a certain reality that completes something. And whatever it completes, it gives you abundance, temperance, peace, all that, freedom, happiness. So if you don't take action on coming into alignment with something, you'll never conclude something. You'll never complete something and be able to celebrate your cosmic awards that were meant for you to have in a certain, because they're giving me very specific, a very specific area, a very specific talent, a very specific characteristic to you, something that you like doing that fills the needs of a certain area, certain people, things that they need in order to come together to bring conclusions. This isn't a conspiracy theory. We need each other in order to have some type of spiritual unity. And there are things designed to make people hate each other, to make people not want to help each other, not want to do that, to come against individuals so that we're all grouped into working for the system. All right? So there's less entrepreneurs, there's less people doing what they love. People don't choose jobs of becoming an artist because you're going to be a starving artist. It's this type of thing. If I decide to do what makes me happy, it's not going to make me money. World card. That's the conclusion that you get. But I'm talking to the people who don't care about money. Even if it's not making you money, it brings to you a sense of closure, an opportunity to do something that brings you happiness and fulfillment, irregardless of the pay. And this is what you know to double down on, because then you'll create an avenue in which it will pay you. Okay, so I'm talking to some people who chose to do things that's not going to bring them money, but it's going to make you feel good. And if you do it long enough, it will bring you money. This is what Spirit is saying. 5 of Wands. Again, but this blacksmith energy, there's so many things trying to fight you from this path. And we have the Tower, 5 of Wands, Tower, 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords, Queen of Cups. It's giving MLK, I had a dream. Okay. I'm hearing the speeches on a megaphone. All the little boys and all the little girls could come together. Oh, inclusion, MLK. Okay, so whatever spiritual path that you're being divinely guided to has to do with inclusion. Thank you for your automatic grace, okay? Automatic abilities that you've given me. Thank you for allowing me to be tapped in. Thank you. All right. I don't know what I just tapped back into, but this is the energy. It involves inclusion. They took me away with the MLK, gave me visions of him drawing a crowd of inclusion, because there are a lot of people out here who want that. They want to be included in separating themselves from the matrix. They just don't know how. 5 of Wands. So it causes conflict and chaos, and people fight you, and they're jealous if you do it because they don't know how to do it. But with the Tower, the 10 of Pentacles, the 4 of Swords, and the Queen of Cups energy, this is inclusion. All of us. The Tower would be you expanding a social circle off of things that bring you individual happiness. 4 of Swords, Queen of Cups energy. I had a dream. And when you creatively express your dream, Temperance, there are people who also see your dreams because they are included. There it is, inclusion again. So there's something here about your spiritual path that makes you included with others. Okay, an act of service, like a blacksmith, you create things for people. There's something here about the inclusion of the community, of the people around you. You're going to have dreams and visions on this. Temperance. So I had a dream that we could all get together and do something. Okay, I'm tapping into people whose spiritual path comes with the inclusions of other spiritual paths. We're going back to the coexistence of your spiritual. It's not coexistence I'm looking for. It's connection. It's not even that. I'm looking for a word and it's eluding me. But whatever you do individually includes other people's happiness. Temperance. This is like recently I've seen people who were talking about their calling and how their calling is to be a detective and how helping other people figure out cases brings them joy, and it's the inclusion of that person's spiritual insight of being a detective that brings other people joy. This is the coexistence of how the world is supposed to be. We're all supposed to have individual, unique talents that coexist with other people's individual, unique talents, bringing mutual wealth and freedom for all. But there are certain people who like to dominate large number of people by putting people in oppression. Okay, so the opposite, going back to the conspiracy. There are people who have done this. They're already here. They have realized what they need to do to make it a monopoly in which they only serve themselves. But there are spiritual people who have realized this and they want to create something that serves the community. Everybody wins. Okay? And this is because they watch people create scenarios in which only a few win and the rest suffer. But that leaves a huge market for the sufferers to come together and figure out a way to overthrow the sum. Y'all not staying with me. There's a spiritual path of people in this timeline, in this specific year, in this specific area. We're all here and living in this reality for a reason. We all have a key component in which we can come together in this exact time, in this exact date, in our social constructs in order to create whatever this is. But it was all done before us. People who woke up before you did and created monopolies, created industries, created laws, created foundations in which you suffer. But this was done purposely for the sufferers, for the meek to inherit the earth. And what y'all are not seeing is that they create a bench of conflict between the meek so that we don't look at how we can overthrow and conquer. And a lot of us are waking up to the individualness inside of us because that's all we can do. But the more individuals who wake up inside this meek system will start finding each other and figuring out and learning from them. Oh, we're going back to the beginning, learning from them. We learned from them. They showed us how they created monopolies to control us. Now we take that blueprint and we'll tweak it so everybody wins. Thus taking power back from the sum and getting it to the all. Stay with me now. Temperance, divine order. This is happening all over the world. All over the world tonight. Eyes all over the world tonight. Two of Swords energy in the reverse. Man, this is a decision. Two of Pentacles. If we can all make up our mind to come together for a period of time. Moon card. Secretly. Ace of Cups. Secret productivity. The Lovers. A group of people. Now I'm picking up on cults. Alright. I'm picking up on small communities of people buying giant. Okay, this is that energy. Yeah, we're meek. They're keeping us meek, but if we come together, we're bigger. We're bigger together. So we make a decision to exchange with each other and figure out how to thrive in chaos instead of suffering in it. Yeah, our circumstances is fucked up. You feel me? Yeah, the 1%ers are grinding our gears. Yeah, they out here controlling our reality and making us live by these laws and the laws in which that are served and catered to them in order to make them richer and us poorer. Yeah, that's our reality. But we can also learn from them, see them, come together with our meekness to create bigger energy. And this is what I see. A change of perspective about how to get something done. Yeah, we all are not flowing. Yeah, all of our cups are not overflowing. But if we pour it all into one, it'll overflow into the next one. And if we keep doing that, eventually everybody's cup will be full. It's this type of energy. The meek shall inherit the earth. Lovers. Divine connection. Lovers. Over and over again. Vendor. Individual energy. Right now, there is pressure. Woo! And we all know pressure makes diamonds, right? Right now, there's a whole lot of pressure to go into your individuality, to see what's really meant to you, to be living in your individual characteristics, because there are certain things that are unique to you, that are unique to your area, where you are, what you got going on, that will co-create, co-connect with your environment in such a way in which you will link up with people who are divinely orchestrated to come together to fill up each other's cups. They're telling me this is what they meant by men is not supposed to be alone. Not that we're all supposed to be in a relationship, fucking each other and doing this. Sometimes we can live symbiotic without having intimacy relationships, but we're still in partners. You're still my homie. You're still my friend. It's this type of energy. And in this world, we're all meant to hate each other and be racist and have fucked up toxic relationships because that person can't stop cheating on this person, because we're all designed in the world to make us and tempt us and make us cheat and make us lie and make us certain things. But there are certain individuals who can have discipline against the corruption in the world, the conspiracy theories in the world, and they see it. They know it's going to stop them and hold them back, but they also know how to combat it. And it's to be an individual in the place that you're supposed to be around other individuals and linking up with these people and creating abundance, whether it's short-lived or long-term. You get it. And when you start getting it, this starts being your reality, and the more you live reality, the more it becomes a thing, your reality, and you start feeding more into that instead of the matrix. And here we go. This is how you create some type of power. This is what you're being led to. Other people who are also divine seekers. And we're supposed to get together for what? We're going to keep it going, and I'm going to get out of here. What are we getting together for? Expanding social circles for what? Male energy. A man plays a role. Mars energy here. Invitation, conclusions are reached. Again. Okay. We're all getting together for what? A man plays a role. We have writer and child here. Writer, weaver, tells. Growth, vulnerable. Oh, we got a madman. Cool. Madman, driver. Oh, we got a spy. Wow. Security guard. And, okay, so there are people who are watching you. Okay? And they don't want you to link up and do this, right? They want to weave a story of allowing madness, chaos to rule you, to control you, to navigate you, and then they spy on you, okay, and keep watch to see if you are still broken. This is like an experiment. This is crazy. This is absolutely insane. Okay, yeah, they're influencing men in the workforce. Lost soul and volunteer and avenger. So I'm talking to people who decides to be in the masculine energy of taking action to craft their own story and grow their own reality. They don't want you to do this. They want you to feel like you're going to have nothing, you're going to be poor. If you do this, if you experiment, if you try, you're going to be poor. They're spying on you to see if you're allowing the chaos, okay? If you're allowing whatever this is to control you, you're still in the streets, if you're still selling drugs, if you're still wrapped up in toxic relationships where y'all arguing, can't even concentrate on your spiritual path, let alone if your kids ate that day. It's this type of energy. There's something influencing men or the masculine energy of taking action so that we all stay as a worker instead of seeking discipline because we feel like that would be too much. But we do it anyway. Some of us are breaking free. You don't care if it's too much. You're still going to volunteer your time. You're still going to spend your free time doing the shit that you love. And then we have Avenger. And then there's people who plot on people who try to do this. Okay? And then they use the law to paint authority. But we all know if you know the secrets of the world, you can get around the laws later. Okay? But instead of getting around the laws, they want you to cater to the laws. But you are an engineer and an athlete. So they gotta fucking stop you first. Is what I'm getting. Alright, so this is all leading to you taking action to write your own story, and that own story becoming a beacon of hope, a beacon of light to others, inspiring others that they can create their own stories, thus snatching souls from hell, thus unplugging bitches from the matrix, thus waking people up from their slumber, thus leading the sheep. This is this type of energy. Your action to get out there and do something inspires other people to get out and do something. And there's other people who are watching that want to beat you down and break you and take away your inhibition to do so that you don't wake others up. It's this type of energy. They want to cut people down who decide to take action to be their own thing, because if you show others that you can do it, then it inspires and gives hope to other people. Blah, 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 blah. It's not going to stop you on some I have a dream. Martin Luther King, he's saying it again. I have a dream that all the little boys and all the little girls can be free. This is that type of energy. We're coming together to write the story of our children's lives, is what they're telling me. Whatever we create will be the legacy that we pass on to our children. Or we can either pass them back into the matrix, or we can give them a written story, written wisdom, a written book about how you escaped, what you did. This is that energy, okay? There is a man writing a script for his children. Thank you, Jesus. And God, shit, thank you. Fudge aroni. What they're showing me is God wrote you a script. God wrote you handwritten a script for his child. And there are people who done things in your life to distract you from the handwritten script of your life. And it's up to you to get together and live in the script instead of the illusion that they want you to. And coming together breaks the illusion that you have to be a slave to what they want you to, and show them that you have the individual free will and desire to come together and break their ideas for your life. To overcome the statistic. to show them that you have a dream and you made that dream a reality, thus showing you what God's children were supposed to be, weavers of a reality. We're cosmic beings designed to interact with our reality and create what we want that will bring us happiness of everybody's highest good. Okay, there it is. The coexistence is everybody's highest good. The reality that we can all be happy without suppressing and hurting others. And there's a group of people who decide to choose their happiness over the collective happiness of others. And that's why they're doomed to fail. Okay? They may be controlling the earth, but they're making the meek want to stand up and take action. And this is the hero story. A story that will be written about and told to our children. A story that was crafted before we were born. A story that we just have to align ourselves with and thrive in it. Some of us are learning that we have no control over anything except ourselves. And the only thing that you're supposed to do with your self-control is to learn how to bring unique happiness in your own talents and own God-given gifts. They help you find the script that was written for you. So there's a lot of us right now taking action on things that make us happy, and it's guiding us towards other people that will help us find the scripts. And when you come together with people, coexist with people, and finding your happiness and including everybody else's happiness in it, you are in alignment to life, and things will become more abundant for you. This is the energy that I have for you. Is going to be a lot of growth. There's going to be a lot of travel, a lot of change, a lot of spiritual downloads given to you at this time. You're going to start to have aha moments. You're going to wake up from the matrix. You're going to unplug and be able to find your own joy, your own happiness, and things that you used to like when you were a kid before you were programmed to be a machine. And once you start living in your written path before you were molded, you'll find your individual uniqueness. And your individual uniqueness has something to do with other people's individual uniquenesses around you. And these things coexist in a way where you step into a timeline that was written for you. Instead of, ooh, ooh, oh Lord, they just gave me. I'm gonna misquote this like an effort. Okay. I don't know why I said that either. It's automatic talking. They gave me the scenario in which we chose our authority. Choosing your authority. Some of you have chosen to believe that we have these laws and that we are forced to live by them and subjected by our rulers and by our authority system. So when you choose God to be your leader, your authority system, you break free from the suppressive matrix and you enter into the reality of the unknown. Yes, we don't have control of it, but there's an unknown script about our life that leads to a lot of happiness. And the unknown script that the Matrix offers us is to sit down and let all these blessings pass us by. So for some of you, most of you won't even get this far in the video. If you did get this far in the video, put bubbles in the comments. Alright? Most of you are awakening to the fact that God made a script that you already know, because the details in the scripts will make you happy because it's stuff that you like doing. So you know that God is giving you clues to be a way of yourself and your own self-expression, your authentic energy. So you're going to live authentically, choose to do things that make you feel good in order to learn about the scripts. For others of you, you don't know what I'm talking about, okay? All this went over your head. You're probably going to leave a mean comment calling me dumb. It's all right, Shawty. I'm going to pray for you. You feel me? I pray for you all. I hope that you align with your spiritual path, thus uplifting the community and living in the script of the divine instead of the script of the matrix. Because there's a man-made script to make you wait, but there's a God-written script that gives you abundance and freedom and happiness. You just gotta find it. This is the energy that I got for you. Okay, it's never too late to find your path. I hope that you search for it. Peace.